What's up guys, I'm here with my friend Ian Hardin from Red 5 Performance, and he has a master in biomechanics. I came here with a little bit of an issue. I had a pretty gnarly wreck about 10 days ago at my last BMX race. My foot is extremely swollen, a little bit black and blue, and he's got a good little trick he's gonna help me with today, right? So what are we gonna do today?
So we're gonna do what's called flossing. So you can get, it's called a Voodoo Floss Band. You can get these pretty much anywhere on the internet. Amazon, lots of companies make them now. It looks like this. You can get a couple of them, they're usually 20 bucks, something like that.
And who exactly would be doing this and why?
Really anybody can use these. Is for to help the inflammation process to go a little bit faster. So any type of joint sprain, this is really helpful for, because ligaments don't get a ton of blood flow. That's going to increase blood flow big time. But you can do this on sore muscles, you can do this to warm up, you can do this for lots of different reasons. So really anybody that works, if you got a sore knee, if your quads are sore, this is gonna help out big time.
And how exactly does it work? Because I know you're a guru on the science side of it. So
yeah, so all right, let's say the inflammation process. Inflammation is actually a good thing, right? So inflammation is your body is sending cells that don't really belong there to help out this process of healing everything and then taking away all the dead tissue, right? So when that happens, now all these new cells are coming in and it's creating a lot of swelling and fluid, and it gets really dense in there. So when it gets dense, it puts a lot of pressure in that whole area. That's where you feel pain. It puts pressure on the nerve endings, but also it puts pressure on the venous return. So you have arteries that send blood down and you have veins that pump blood back. So a lot of this pressure slows down that venous return of blood back to the heart. So what we're gonna do here is when we squeeze this, we're gonna put a lot of compression on this, and it's going to put even more pressure on there. Be like, oh, well, didn't you just say that slows down the venous return? Yeah, it does, but only temporarily. But also what it does, we're gonna call in the lymphatic system to help us drain this. And then when we do that with this like big time constriction, then this rush of blood flow is gonna come back in, bringing all these new nutrients and cells that we want in there. So the lymphatic system works mechanically. So that means we put a lot of pressure on it.
And the lymphatic system is more like our garbage disposal, right? So
pretty much,
taking that junk and bringing it back up to replace it with the good stuff?
Yeah, so it's part of our immune system, right? So it's basically exactly that. Its job is to figure out what's going on, but also helps with just blood flow in general. So about 20% of the fluid that's flowing through our body is pumped through the lymphatic system just on a daily basis regularly. So we need some extra help from the lymphatic system, and we put pressure on it. It fills up those lymphatic drainage tubes. That's basically a one-way street up to the heart. So pressure fills them up, and that's what we're trying to do, is just fill up those lymphatic tubes to bring it all the way back up, to relieve some of the swelling, to let it swell again. And then if you do this process back and forth, it's going to help
hurry up that healing process.
Hurry up that healing process.
Well, that's what I need, because I got a filming shoot in Miami in like 8 days. So I got to get this thing down, and I got to get back to walking. So
sounds good.
Let's see what we got. Do I need to sit down, lay down,
you
or
can
how
sit
do you
down.
want?
Yeah, you can sit down. Let's sit on the floor, and you can use this med ball on your back. And we're gonna put your leg up here.
Is this something that somebody could do themselves, or
Yeah,
do they usually need somebody else to do it?
You can do it yourself for sure.
Okay.
It's a little bit easier to have other people do it, especially when you're doing some of the upper body.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to do, like, this is gonna be painful, right? So anybody that's watching this, it's gonna be painful, but if you want to heal faster, you got to do it. But it shouldn't be so painful where I'm like, here, bite down on this, you hold his arm, let's hold, like, it shouldn't be that painful, right? So I'm going to just do kind of a little test run, because we got a lot of swelling here still.
You can see it's still got a bunch of black and blue.
For sure, it's black and blue through here.
It might help to see even the color difference. You can see the left foot's a bit darker,
especially here.
Purple, yeah.
So I'm going to be a little bit careful the first time, just to kind of assess, his pain tolerance and what he's okay with. But we're going to go pretty tight.
I'm really strong.
Cool.
I don't know how tough I am, but I'm strong.
So I'm just going to start wrapping this around his foot.
Woo.
How we doing so far?
I'm alive, I'm good.
Good. All right, so as I'm wrapping, I'm going to do about a half wrap on the one above that. And I'm just going to keep going. That's why this thing is so long. Then once I get up towards the ankle, I could probably do one more here. Now I'm going to start to cross the joint here. I'm going to lift you up a little bit.
I feel it.
Yeah, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter as you go as well.
Compression.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that rice, right?
Yep. So now I'm trying to wrap above. And now I'm going to cross the bottom one more time.
And how do we know what is too tight or not tight enough, or how do we determine how tight to go?
Pain tolerance, really.
Just as much as someone can take.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're going to start to see, you don't want to go so tight that you're causing like lacerations on the skin or like broken blood vessels. Like sometimes people go way too tight and they start to see that. But it's going to be tight.
That's tight.
And again, this one's just kind of a test here. See how we're doing. So what you can do is you can just kind of leave it on. So something that's at this stages, I would just leave it on like this. We're gonna leave it on for 2 minutes, right? But you can also start to do some movement through it. So first I'm gonna have you move it, see what you can do. See if you can kind of flex. Let's go dorsiflex up like this. And then push down, plantar flex up. So it's always gonna be better to have them do this movement. When you have a lot of swelling, it decreases the amount of movement, and then when people move, it hurts, so they stop. But really, movement is going to be the best thing. But we're just going to go a little bit. Now let's dorsiflex one more time. I'm going to help you out a little bit here, and let me know if it's too much. So by pushing some of this out, when we get new blood flow in, it's going to dilute what's going on in here, and it's going to make it less dense. So the less dense it is, the easier it is for the veins to push it back up. So there's lots of different things going on that are going to be helpful here. So you can go to the side here. So I'm just moving this a little bit, and I'm kind of judging on if this is too much or too little based on what he's doing here. So we just put this on. He seemed pretty relaxed so far, and then I kind of just do a little bit of movement here. His knee tweaks. I could see him grabbing the ground. It's like, all right, let me just, that's good. So with this stuff, again, it's going to be painful, but the goal isn't to make it painful. The goal is to just compress it. So if you're doing this to your buddy, it's not like, all right, let me see how much pain I can put. Yeah, let me see how much pain I can put this dude in. I'm just going to leave this on here. But have you had this done before?
No, I've not.
So you can start to see, he's losing some color in his toes here. He's not getting a ton of blood flow. But once we take this off, you're going to feel this rush of blood. And then we'll put the leg down as well as we do that. So I was really bought into this. This was maybe 2011 or 2012. I sprained my wrist, and that's when I was competing full time. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't not be injured. I have to figure out a way. And I just did this throughout the day, all day. And then
really? How many times a day?
I was doing this at least once every hour.
So you're saying that I should buy one of these?
Yeah, you should
do this every day.
You should do this every day.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm buying one as soon as we get done with this video. And
within a couple days, I was able to lift on it. I mean, it was painful, but I was able to lift on it. And it nagged me, these types of injuries can be nagging for a little bit, but it was nothing that wasn't manageable after that.
And you could use this for, like, if your knee got swollen.
Sure.
If your wrist got swollen, if your shoulder got swollen.
Anywhere that you need more blood flow, you can do this.
Wrap it around your head.
Wrap around your head. But sometimes, let's say someone has like achy knees.
Yeah. You
can just wrap around your knees as part of a warm up, and they warm up real fast like that. So I don't know. It's been about 2 minutes.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. So, I'll put this leg down. You should feel that rush of blood in there.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it going there. Does each time you do this just kind of make it feel a little bit better and push that blood flow a little bit out?
Yep,
more.
A little bit better, a little bit better. I mean, it's not going to be like, all right, you're magically fixed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be better every time. So every time that new blood is coming in and offering new nutrients and taking out old waste products, it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's just, it needs to happen a lot. And this is just like this massive rush of what's already happening all day, every day anyway. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, it's just going to speed this whole process up. But yeah, it's still going to take some time, but the more dedicated you are to wrapping it on a regular basis, it's just going to be faster.
That's cool.
So anytime that you're doing any of this stuff, like the first goal is don't do more damage than what's already in there. So you can wrap it too tight and be too aggressive with it, but as long as you're not damaging, you know, the tendons or the ligaments in there that are busted up, like you can really do this as much as you want.
Sweet. What are they called?
Voodoo Floss Bands.
Voodoo Floss Bands. I will leave a link in the description below, and thanks so much for watching. And I'm also going to give you some links on where to follow Ian. He's got a bunch of awesome content coming out on his social medias with a bunch of really cool information. So thanks so much. And don't forget to check out my website at www.thewillgrant.com. We're coming out with a bunch of new stuff that I think you're going to be really excited about. The happier, healthier, and stronger we are as individuals, the happier, healthier, and stronger we will be as a species and planet. Every day is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve to our highest potential to contribute our best to the world, our species, and our closest people.